Good evening and welcome to North Penn High School and Dr. Vince Cotter, principal of the building. Welcome again to students, parents, teachers, administrators, and friends to the North Penn High School Senior Awards Program. It certainly has been an exceptional year of achievement and accomplishment for the class of 2000. This class has defined the meaning of success and excellence. This class has gone beyond the ordinary. For example, in this class, 150 students scored in the 90th percentile in the PSSA, which is a state assessment. 300 scored in the 85th percentile and above. 9 students were recognized as National Merit Commended Scholars. 7 students were National Merit Finalists. And a student in the class scored a perfect 1,600 on their SATs. They have excelled in art, music, writing, business, language, math, science, and athletic competitions. They have exemplified themselves in the areas of citizenship and service. To no one's surprise, members of this class have been selected to attend the finest universities and colleges in the United States. Along the way, they have won academic and athletic scholarships worth in excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tonight, we honor selected members of the class of 2000 because they have honored themselves with their hard work. They have reached higher for success, and I applaud them. Now please welcome Mrs. Sandra Newman. Mrs. Newman.
Good evening, everyone. Our procedure tonight is as follows. The awards recipients will be called to the stage according to their home office. Once seated on stage, each student will be asked to stand and come to the center of the stage to receive his or her award or awards. The recipient will then return to his or her chair on the stage. In the interest of time, we ask that you hold your applause until all students have received their awards. All students, that is from each home office. And that when the students are rising to leave the stage, that all of the applause be given at that time. At the end of the evening, we will ask the last group of students to remain on stage while Dr. Cotter makes his closing remarks. As you exit the auditorium this evening, you will receive the program which lists all the students and the awards they have received. Tonight we're going to begin with Home Office D103. So would the students whose last names begin with the letter A through E please come forward and enter the stage on this side. At this time, I would like to introduce Mrs. Susan Soslow, Guidance Counselor in Home Office D103.
The first recipient is Jonathan Accardi. From the Hatfield Township Police Benevolent Association, John will receive an award for a student pursuing a career in criminal justice. Presenter is Detective Keith Bell. Just a reminder to hold your applause until everybody is through. The next recipient was unable to attend. It's Mabuba Akhtar, and from the Russell C. Madden Memorial Library Award for Outstanding Service as a North Penn High School Library Aide, and Nancy Craig presents this award. Lee Allbacker. Lee will receive 5 awards. The first is the North Penn Education Association Scholarship presented by Ruth Cook. The second award is the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Award for Excellence in Mathematics. Presenter is Lisa Gerhardt. The third award is by the North Penn High School Science Faculty. It is the David Amorosi Memorial Traditional Physics Award. Presenter is Dan Drissel. And from the North Penn Music Aids Incorporated, the Paul Weber Memorial Award for a band member with the highest grade point average. Presenters are Frank Kuzark and Ted Heller. And Lee's 5th award is the Zezwitz Music Company Award for Outstanding Contribution to North Penn High School Jazz Band. Presenter is Ted Heller. And John Jostin. Melissa Arner. From the Welcome Wagon Club of North Penn, Melissa receives an award for a student continuing studies in the vocational technical field. The presenter is Dr. Cotter. Tom Bassinger. Tom will receive 3 awards. The first is the Night Crier Award for Outstanding Service to the School Newspaper, and the presenter is Ann Weinblatt. The second award is from the Lansdale High School class of 1944, the Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presenter George King.
The Rudiger Blackledge Scholarship was made in 1959 by the class of 1944 as a living tribute and memorial to honor 2 of our classmates who gave their lives while serving our country. Their supreme sacrifice brought us continuing freedom, and we should never forget that. This scholarship is our way of perpetuating their names and assisting young people in their desire for a higher education. During World War II, high school students who attained the age of 18 years on or before January the 1st of their senior year were drafted into the armed forces of our country. 12 members from the class of 1944 were inducted into the services before they could graduate from high school. Fortunately, they were given credit for their basic training service, and this was considered part of their high school education, and they were approved for graduation from high school. Charles Blackledge was born in Hatfield in 1924 and moved to Lansdale when he was in 6th grade. He was drafted prior to his senior year and served as a member of the 38th Regiment of the 4th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army. He participated in D-Day invasion in France and was killed in Normandy in 1944. He was active in Boy Scouts as a youth and was a member of the First Baptist Church in Lansdale. Robert Paul Rudiker was born in Philadelphia in 1926 and moved to Lansdale when he was in the 7th grade. Upon graduation from high school, he enlisted in the U.S. Air Force and became a member of the C-47 transport plane crew. While bringing supplies to an Army team, his plane crashed in heavy fog and he was killed in 1946 in French Morocco. He was active in scouting as a youth and was a member of St. John's United Church in Lansdale. These young boys were killed in the prime of their lives so that we could enjoy the privilege of being free people. They exemplified in their lives outstanding qualities of leadership, good conduct, and citizenship, and this scholarship is given in their name. We should be extremely proud, and students also, of their accomplishments, allowing you to receive this award. Congratulations and best wishes go with you.
And Tom's third award is the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award. Presenter is Colin Likens.
I've just been asked to say a few words on behalf of the teachers of the North Penn Education Association, who will be giving 35 scholarships this evening, totaling an amount of about $6,500. Through the year, the teachers of the North Penn Education Association have raised money through brownie sales, individual contributions, our union dues, Music Under the Stars program, and a new $500 matching gift from the Lutheran Brotherhood. And we'd just like to thank our students for having done so much and so well through the year.
Michael Bauscher. Michael will receive 4 awards. The first is from the Night Crier for outstanding service to the school newspaper, and the presenter is Ann Weinblatt. The second award is from the North Penn Association for Gifted Education, and it's the Journalism Award presented by Betty Jean Stratton. The third award is from the North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society for outstanding contribution to the school and community. Presenter is Barry Finnemeyer.
Ms. Stratton and I have the pleasure this evening of giving out several scholarships that are funded through the fundraising efforts of the National Honor Society North Penn High School chapter. And the money was raised through sale of lollipops as well as through other activities that we've done throughout the year. And that money then is turned around and given to senior members of the National Honor Society, and Mike is the first recipient.
And Michael's fourth award is from the North Penn High School class of 1984 for outstanding class steering committee member, and the presenter is Jody Williams and George Woodbury. John Benedicts. John receives an award from the Lansdale Business and Professional Women's Club for outstanding scholastic improvement over the last 3 years. The presenter is Mr. Perry. Amanda Berry. Amanda receives an award from the North Penn High School Chorus for outstanding ability in vocal music. The presenter is Dan Kershetsky. Sagar Bhatt. Sagar receives 2 awards. The first is the H. James Finnemeyer Award for Outstanding Student Leader. Presenter is Jim Finnemeyer.
Thank you. There are a phenomenal number of excellent leaders at North Penn High School. It is always difficult for the advisors of our various clubs and organizations to take and have to select just one of them to recognize as an outstanding leader at North Penn High School. Certainly, Sagar represents that as an active member of our Student Government Association, as a treasurer in his junior year, as president of the student body this year, but also for the job that he did back in the fall in organizing, initiating a program of anti-violence here at North Penn High School and getting thousands of North Penn High School students to sign a pledge that said that they would find ways other than violence to settle problems. Ladies and gentlemen, we certainly thank and congratulate Sagar Bhatt, outstanding leader at North Penn High School.
Sagar. One more. Okay, Sagar's second award is from the Student Government Association for Outstanding Member of the SGA. Presenters are Jim Finnemeyer and Jason Giersch. Selika Bikochi. Selika receives an award from the Upper Gwynedd Ambucks for a student who plans to pursue a career in physical therapy. Presenter is Dr. Cotter. Lisa Berenbaum. Lisa will receive 2 awards. The first is from the Alpha Delta Kappa sorority, the Alpha Delta Kappa Award to a student who plans to enter the field of education. Presenter is Adelie McKelvey. And the second award is from Students Against Drinking and Driving to reward many hours of unselfish time spent in promoting the goals of the SAD chapter of North Penn High School. Presenter is Christine Williams. Lauren Bissett. Lauren receives an award from the North Penn School District Art Department for excellence in art and continuing study in art. Presenter is Colleen Kiefer. Terry Blaze. Terry receives an award from Students Against Drinking and Driving to reward many hours of unselfish time spent in promoting the goals of the SAD chapter of North Penn High School. Presenter is Christine Williams. Stephen Boyle. Stephen will receive 2 awards. The first is from the Night Crier for outstanding service to the school newspaper, and the presenter is Ann Weinblatt. Stephen's second award is from the Lions Club of North Wales for outstanding achievement in art. Presenter is Colleen Kiefer. John Brophy. John receives the John Vizzini Memorial Award for exceptional progress in specialized programming. Presenter is Linda Toya. Adam Brown. Adam will receive the Hartman Family Wrestling Award for being an outstanding senior wrestler. Presenter is Dr. Jeffrey Hartman.
Excuse me one second. I'd like to congratulate Adam on his outstanding senior year and his specific run through the postseason, and also for finally putting family into the Hartman Family Wrestling Scholarship, becoming the first sibling to win our award.
Nicole Brunt. Nicole receives an award from the North Penn High School Athletic Department for being an outstanding athlete. Presenter is Don Ryan. Christopher Buckner. Chris will receive 2 awards. The first is from the North Penn High School Theater Department for being an outstanding theater stage crew member, and the presenter is Art Addison. Chris's second award is the Parent Council Award for being an overall outstanding senior participating in specialized programs. Presenter is Linda Toya. Gavin Butler. Gavin will receive the Dr. Leon Strohecker Orthodontic Award for Commendable Achievement in English. Presenter is Bill Hubler. Mr. Jim Crawford will now continue.
Robert Canfield, Jr., Lansdale High School class of 1935, outstanding in a specialized program, presented by Linda Toya. Michael Casey. Mac will be receiving 2 awards this evening. The first, Night Crier, Outstanding Service to School Newspaper, presented by Ann Weinblatt. Mac's other award, North Penn High School Athletic Department, Good Sports Person Today, Better Citizen Tomorrow, presented by Don Ryan. Allison Salenza. Allison is receiving 2 awards. The first, Lansdale VFW Post 32, Bobby Mangold Citizenship Award, presented by Mr. Perry. And Allison's other award, North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presenter Nancy Craig. Sandy Cho. Sandy will be receiving several awards this evening. The first, American Association of University Women, Lansdale Branch, Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Carolyn Murphy.
The American Association of University Women will be giving 16 awards in the North Penn area at various high schools in the next 2 weeks. This is all possible because of your support of our cultural programs. We'd like to take this time to thank you and hope that you will support us again next year.
Sandy's next award, the Donabella Hilt Memorial Award, Outstanding Achievement in Mathematics and Extracurricular Activities, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Next for Sandy, Lansdale High School class of 1944, Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presented by George King. And Sandy's final award, North Penn High School, class of 1987, Outstanding Class Officer, presented by Jody Williams and George Woodbury. Bradford Clemens. Bradford's Award, Republican Party Area Number 9, Special Achievement in Government, presented by Jeff Jordan. Emily Clinch. Emily will be receiving several awards this evening. The first, American Association of University Women, Lansdale Branch, Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Next, Knight Crier Award, Outstanding Service to School Newspaper, presenter Ann Weinblatt. Next award, Lansdale Women's Club, Outstanding in English Literature over the last 3 years, presented by Bill Hubler. Next, North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Kenneth Arnholt Memorial Award, Student Outstanding in Social Sciences, presented by Jeff Jordan. North Penn Chapter of National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. And Emily's final award, North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Ruth Cook. Reed Collins is next. Reed will be receiving a number of awards this evening. The first, American Association of University Women, Lansdale Branch, Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Carolyn Murphy.
Give awards to men.
Next, the American Legion, William E. Hare Post, number 206, highest academic average over the last 3 years, presented by William Weaver. BAE Systems, Outstanding Student in Math and Science, presented by Dr. Cotter. Lansdale High School, Class of 1944, Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presenter George King. Next, Merck Institute for Science Education, Exceptional Interest and Ability in Chemistry, presented by Dan Drissel. Next, the Merck Institute for Science Education, Outstanding 3 Years in Mathematics, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Performing Arts Award, presenter Betty Jean Stratton. North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Colin Likens. And Reed's final award, Toluga Association of Greater Delaware Valley Incorporated, Outstanding Academic Achievement, presented by Mr. Perry. Matthias Collum. Award Visteon Automotive Systems Interest and Progress in the Field of Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Andrew Colvin. Andrews Award, American Legion McLeod Mayall, Post number 336, Outstanding in Industrial Arts Technology Education, presented by Bill Michael. Next recipient, Brandon Corby. Montgomery Township Police Benevolent Association, David Hancock Memorial Scholarship to aid in the further education of a student entering the criminal justice field, presented by Officer James Matlack. Matthew Crozier, Matt is receiving several awards. The first, American Legion Post number 933, highest average over the last 3 years, presented by William Weaver. Second award, North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Award, Excellence in Mathematics, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Matt's final award, the Toluga Association of Greater Delaware Valley Incorporated, Outstanding Academic Achievement, presented by Dr. Cotter. Anna Marie Cunningham. North Penn Music Aids Incorporated, Stephen E. Frederick Music Award, Most Outstanding Contribution to North Penn High School Band Program, presented by Frank Kuserk and Ted Heller. David Davis. David is receiving 2 awards. The first, Green Room Club Spotlight Award to a student who has contributed to the success of the Green Room Theater Appreciation Club, presented by Valerie Sinecor. David's other award, Green Room Club Award, student who has dedicated time and energy to the Theater Appreciation Club, presented by Valerie Sinecor. Clark Deerdorf. Clark's Award, Anthony L. Reisner, DDS, Lawrence B. Black, DDS, Kevin L. Bass, DMD Award, Student Entering Dentistry, presented by Mr. Perry. Marjorie DeLong. Marjorie's Award, North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Career Insight gained through the Gifted Mentorship Program, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. Shilpa Danisetti. Shilpa is receiving several awards this evening. First, American Legion Post number 933, highest average over the last 3 years, presented by Margaret Weaver. Next, North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Award, Excellence in Mathematics, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Shilpa's final award, Toluga Association of Greater Delaware Valley Incorporated, Outstanding Academic Achievement, presented by Dr. Cotter. Rebecca Delella. Rebecca's Award, North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Creative Use of Learning Opportunities, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. Rebecca Dillon. Rebecca is receiving 2 awards. The first, Brooks Instrument, Outstanding in the Work-Study Program, presented by Ken McLarnon. And her second award, Lansdale School of Business, Outstanding in Accounting, presented by Linda Westerland. Joel Douglas. Okay, I don't see Joel. His award, North Penn High School Special Education Department Volunteer Service Award for Outstanding Contribution and Sensitivity to Students with Special Needs. Natasha Downing. Natasha's award this evening, Fraternal Order of Eagles number 1761, Outstanding in Courtesy, presented by Mr. Perry. Samrat Dudat. Samrat is receiving 2 awards. First, Lansdale High School, class of 1944, Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presented by George King. And his other award, North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig. Sarah Duffy. Sarah's award from the Merrin Studios, Outstanding Contribution to the Yearbook, presented by Kathleen Staley. Brian Endline. Brian is receiving 3 awards tonight. First, DeVoe's Music Store Outstanding Contribution to Band and Chorus, presented by Ted Heller and Dan Kershetsky. Next, Kohler's Jewelry Store Outstanding Contribution to Band, presented by Ted Heller. And Brian's third award, North Penn High School Chorus, Outstanding Contribution to Chorus, presented by Dan Kershetsky. Obinya Inanya. Obie's award this evening, North Penn Booster Club, Outstanding Senior Athlete in Spanish, presented by Sandy Stover. David Evans. David's award, DeVirgilis Designs Art Award, Excellence in Art, Student Planning to Pursue Art Career, presented by Colleen Kiefer. Okay, students on stage may return to your seats in the auditorium as we applaud you. Students from home office E112 may come to the stage at this time. That would be students with last names beginning with F through and including the letter K. That's Office E112, last names beginning with F through and including K. Dr. Jeff Marr will begin the presentations for Home Office E112. Dr. Marr?
Okay, Kristen Faison. Kristen will be receiving several awards tonight. The first award, the Enact Club Curtis Cooper Memorial Award to a club member deserving recognition for service, presenting Irene Guthrie and Mike Ascona. The next award, the Karen Kroll Memorial Award for Outstanding in Creative Writing, presented by Dr. Bill Eubler. And also presented by Dr. Eubler, the Troubadour Award for Greatest Contribution to a School Magazine. James Favata. And James will also be receiving several awards this evening. The first, the Green Room Club Tales for Tots Award to a student who has dedicated 3 years to Green Room's Traveling Children's Theater, presenting Valerie Sinecor. The Chuck Kinter Memorial Art Award for a student continuing education in art, presented by Colin Kiefer. Finally, the North Penn High School Theater Department Addison Patrick Award for Best Actor Award, presenting Art Addison. Jessica Feisel. The North Penn High School Class of 1990, Outstanding Dedication and Commitment to the Class of 2000, presenting Jody Williams and George Woodbury. Jason Fine. And Jason will be receiving 2 awards this evening. The first, the North Penn Music Aids Incorporated James Morrison Memorial Award for Outstanding Contribution to North Penn High School Jazz Band, presenting Frank Cusick and John Johnston, and Ted Heller. Next, the North Penn Singers Alvin Schmidt Music Scholarship, presented by Dr. Cotter. Jonathan Fink. Jonathan will be receiving several awards this evening. the North Penn Education Association for Gifted Education, the Mathematics Award, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. The North Penn Chapter of National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Barry Fittemeyer. Finally, the North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Ruth Cook. Laura Fisher. The Night Crier Outstanding Service to School Newspaper, presented by Ann Weinblatt. Stephen Fleming. Steve will be receiving a couple of awards this evening. The North Penn High School Athletic Department, an Outstanding Athlete, presented by Don Ryan. And the Vistion Automotive Systems Award for Interest and Progress in the Field of Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Unable to attend this evening is Anthony Forresto, and his award is the Clemens Markets Incorporated Award for Outstanding in Human Service and Consumer Science. Christy Gentile. Christy will be receiving the North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Spanish, presenting Sandy Stover. Deborah George. Deborah will be receiving several awards this evening. The first, the North Penn Booster Club James B. Crawford Award for letter winner with the highest scholastic average, presenting Don Ryan. The next award, the North Penn Booster Club for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Academic English, presented by Dr. Hubler. The North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Physics, presented by Dan Drissel. The North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Colin Likens. And finally, the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty John A. Vinsky Memorial Award for a student who is an outstanding North Penn school citizen, varsity track letter winner, and excellent in mathematics, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Ken Gerges, Jr. Ken will be receiving the North Penn High School Theater Department Award for Outstanding Theater Stage Crew Member, presented by Art Addison. Andrea Giuliano. Andrea will be receiving the the Women of the Moose number 720 Nurses Training Award, presenting Holly Douglas. Also unable to attend this evening is Brian Gock. Brian is receiving the Welsh Valley Preservation Society Award for Outstanding in History. Ryan Godshaw. Ryan is receiving the North Penn High School Career Exploration Program Award for Outstanding in the Career Education or Career Exploration Program, presenting Ken McLernan. Julie Good. Julie will be receiving a couple of awards this evening. The first, the David P. Dunbrack Memorial Award, presented by Mrs. Krug. And the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig. Vincent Grande. And Vinny will be receiving a few awards this evening. The first, the Ken Arnholt Memorial Award for Overall Excellence in the Gifted Mentorship Program, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. The next award, the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty John A. Vinsky Memorial Award for a student who is outstanding North Penn School student, a varsity track ladder winner, and excellent in math, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Finally, the Dr. and Mrs. George Sands Memorial Award for contemporary, this is a Contemporary Issues Award presented by Jeff Jordan. Rebecca Grant. The North Penn High School Class of 1984 Award for Outstanding Class Steering Committee Member, presented by Jody Williams and George Woodbury. Joseph Granenko. The North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Ruth Cook. Michael Gubitosa. The North Penn School District Art Department for Excellence in Art, Continuing Education in Art, presented by Colin Kiefer. Christopher Hamill. And Chris will be receiving a couple of awards this evening. First, the Commerce Bank for a student who has achieved academic excellence and plans to continue studies in business, presented by Linda Westerlin. And the North Penn Valley Boys and Girls Club's Sean Clark Memorial Scholarship Award for a member of the North Penn High School football team who has shown growth in his personal relationships toward teammates, coaches, and teachers, presented by Mr. and Mrs. Clark. Cynthia Hansen. The North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Social Studies, presented by Jeff Jordan. Megan Heath. The Gennardi Market Sports Award for Most Outstanding Senior Athlete, presented by Don Ryan. Benjamin Hebner. Ben will be receiving several awards this evening. The Murrin Studios Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Yearbook, presented by Kathleen Staley. Next, the Nash Printing Award for Outstanding Member of the Accolade Staff. Also, I'm sorry, Ben. One more. The North Penn High School Physical Education Department Charles Bond Memorial Award for High Achievement in Physical Education and Academics, presented by Ginny Ward. Paul Henning. Is Paul here this evening? Paul will be receiving the Hatfield Chamber of Commerce Award for Outstanding Progress in Academics. Lindsay Herbine. The Hatfield Quality Meats Award for Student Outstanding in Technical Career Center Food Preparation Management Technology. And this is presented by Mrs. Krug. Heather Herman. Heather is receiving the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award presented by Colin Likens. Cynthia Herman. The North Penn High School Theater Department Excellence in Theater Award presented by Deborah Buckner. And Barbara McGarity will continue.
Good evening. Patrick Hindman. Tonight, Patrick is receiving the Hatfield Township Police Benevolent Association Award for a student pursuing career in criminal justice field, presented by Detective Keith Bell. Ryan Hollenbach. Ryan's receiving a few awards tonight. The first is the Donabella Hilt Memorial Award for Outstanding Achievement in Mathematics and Extracurricular Activities, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. The North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Social Studies, presented by Jeff Jordan. And the North Penn Education Association Scholarship Award, presented by Nancy Craig. Pei Hong. Peggy's receiving the Sons of Italy number 413 award for a student who is outstanding in school services and cooperativeness, presented by Jason Gears. Jennifer Horn is receiving a couple of awards tonight, but she was unable to attend. But she's receiving a Pennsylvania State Police Award for outstanding performance in the work-study program, and also an award from the Volunteer Medical Service Corps for outstanding in loyalty, mercy, and humanity. Deborah Hong. Deborah's receiving a number of awards tonight. The first is the American Association of University Women, Lansdale Branch, an award for outstanding academic achievement and service to others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Knight Crier Award for outstanding service to the school newspaper, presented by Ann Weinblatt. North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society for outstanding contribution to school and community, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. And finally, the Michelle Thinnis Award for a student involved in extracurricular activities who plans to pursue a career in engineering or science, presented by Dan Drissel. Pamela Halley. Pam is receiving the American Association of University Women Lansdale Branch Award for outstanding academic achievement and service to others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Christina Huber. Christina is receiving a North Penn Education Association Recognition Award presented by Ruth Cook. Matt Ibarguen. Matt's receiving 2 awards tonight. The first is the Lansdale High School Class of 1944 Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presented by George King. And a North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Colin Likens. Sarah Jansen. Sarah's receiving North Penn Education Association Thomas Leonard Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig.
Good evening. 2 of the North Penn Education Association awards are named for Thomas Leonard. He was a teacher here, a dedicated teacher at North Penn High School, and also our first association president. The 2 students here named tonight are given this award based on their interest in entering the field of education.
Ashley Jernigan. Ashley is receiving the North Penn High School Athletic Department Most Athletic Improvement over 3 years, presented by Don Ryan. Bo Ra Elizabeth Jin. Liz is receiving a number of awards tonight. The first is the American Association of University Women Lansdale Branch Harry S. Gerstein Award for outstanding academic achievement and service to others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. The Dorothy R. Diamond Memorial Award for expository writing, presented by Bill Hubler. Knight Crier Award for outstanding service to the school newspaper, presented by Ann Weinblatt. North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Ruth Cook. North Penn High School Social Studies Department Award for Above and Beyond, presented by Jeff Jordan. And finally, Student Government Association Outstanding Member of SGA Award, presented by Jim Finnemeyer and Jason Giersch. Alexander Johnson. Alex is receiving the North Penn Rugby Football Club Sean D. Clark Memorial Scholarship Award to help further the education of a member of the North Penn Rugby Football Club high school team who best demonstrates the qualities of scholastic achievement, community involvement, and sportsmanship, presented by Dr. Cotter. Danielle Johnson. Danielle's receiving the North Penn High School Science Faculty Award for Commendable Achievement in Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Omar Johnson. Omar is receiving a Student Government Association Award, Michael A. DeRosa Jr. Interclub Council Pride and Spirit Award, presented by Jim Finnemeyer.
The Interclub Council here at North Penn High School is an organization made up of the vice presidents of all of our school organizations and the captains of all of our athletic teams. This award is one of 2 awards in which the students make the full selection of the award winner. This first award goes to Omar Johnson in recognition for what he has provided North Penn High School over the past 3 years in spirit and in pride at North Penn High School. Congratulations, Omar.
Scott Johnson. Scott's receiving the Vistion Automotive Systems Award for Interest and Progress in the Field of Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Atif Joseph. Jay's receiving the North Penn High School Athletic Department Award as an Outstanding Athlete, presented by Don Ryan. Nina Kalawadia. Nina's receiving a number of awards tonight, the first of which is the American Association of University Women, Lansdale Branch, for outstanding achievement and service to others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Merck Institute for Science Education Award for Exceptional Interest and Ability in Biology, presented by Dan Drissel. North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society, Louis Ferrer Memorial Scholarship for Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Barry Finnemeyer.
Louis Ferrer was a member of the National Honor Society and graduated from North Penn High School over 15 years ago. Unfortunately, he was killed during a tragic accident his freshman year at Duke University, and his family contributes money each year to the National Honor Society in hopes that his memory can be perpetuated. And this is a 4-year scholarship worth $500 a year.
North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Colin Likens. North Penn High School Perfect Attendance Award for 3 years of perfect attendance at North Penn High School, presented by Mrs. Krug. And finally, North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hilt Memorial Award, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Michael Kapusta. Mike's receiving 2 awards tonight. The first is the North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in Physics, presented by Dan Drissel. And he's also receiving the North Penn High School Athletic Department Award for Good Sportsperson Today, Better Citizen Tomorrow, presented by Don Ryan. Jeffrey Kime. Jeff is receiving the Lansdale J.C.'s Dr. Charles Russell Memorial Award as an outstanding senior, presented by Dr. Cotter. Angela Keller is unable to attend tonight, but she's receiving the Hatfield Women's Civic Club Isla Whitmer Memorial Nursing Scholarship Award. Kelly Kennedy. Kelly's receiving 2 awards tonight. First, the General Federation of Women's Clubs, North Penn, Mildred Kratz Reichly Award for the athlete who, by excellent school spirit, devotion, loyalties, and scholastic achievement, has won recognition as an outstanding student athlete, presented by Mrs. Krug. And she's also receiving the North Penn Booster Club Award for Outstanding Senior Athlete in German, presented by Sandy Stover. Kara Ketterer. Kara's receiving 2 awards. The first is the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig. And also the Upper Gwinnett Ambucks Award for student who plans to pursue career in physical therapy, presented by Mrs. Krug. Raleigh Carre. Raleigh's receiving a number of awards tonight. The first is the American Association of University Women Lansdale Branch, Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Lansdale High School Class of 1944, Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship, presented by George King. National Association of Retired Federal Employees for a student who understands our government and the principles of democracy and is involved in community service and demonstrates school spirit, presented by Jeff Jordan. North Penn Chapter of National Honor Society for outstanding contribution to school and community, presented by Barry Finnemeyer. North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Ruth Cook. And finally, the North Penn International Friendship Committee Kenneth L. Weir Scholar Award for a student who plans a career in international affairs, presented by Tom Lemon and Carolyn Murphy. Kimberly Klein. Kim's receiving 2 awards tonight. The first is the Carl Hoppe Memorial Award for a student entering the field of athletic training, presented by Dr. Cotter. And Kim is also receiving a North Penn Education Association Recognition Award presented by Colin Likens. Lauren Koltowski. Lauren's receiving a North Penn High School Science Faculty Award for Commendable Achievement in Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Clayton Kuklick. Clay is receiving the North Penn Booster Club Kenneth R. Schmidt Award for a student athlete who, by precept and example, has been a source of inspiration to other athletes during his senior year at North Penn, presented by Don Ryan. Let's congratulate all the students on stage as they return to their seats. And could we please have students from the Home Office F40, whose last names begin with L and end with RH, please come to the stage at this time? Students with last names L through and including RH. And Curry Doyle will be presenting the next awards.
First recipient in Home Office F40 is Tim Lanzone. From PNC Bank to an outstanding senior, presented by Mrs. Newman. Karen Lazarowitz. Karen is receiving from the Marybrook Garden Club an award for excellence in botany, presented by Dan Drissel. Sang Lee. I don't think Sang is here tonight. He would have received from the Hatfield Chamber of Commerce an award for outstanding progress in academics. Deborah Lees. From the Lansdale Florist, an award as outstanding in the Career Exploration Program, presented by Ken McLarnon. Jerry Leapsh. From the North Penn High School Athletic Department, Most Athletic Improvement over 3 years, presented by Don Ryan. Jessica Lynn. Jessica isn't here this evening. She's receiving from the Kiwanis Club of Lansdale an award for outstanding in community affairs. Liz Lonergan. From the Night Crier for outstanding service to the school newspaper, presented by Ann Weinblatt. Teresa Lubas. From the North Penn Education Association, a recognition award presented by Nancy Craig. And also, Teresa, you have another award from the North Penn High School science faculty for commendable achievement in science, presented by Dan Drissel. Deborah Lyons. From the Knights of Columbus, Pius IX Council 4396 for outstanding in civic and church affairs, presented by Jim Finnemeyer. Kevin Mace. Kevin is receiving the John Fazzini Memorial Award for exceptional progress in specialized programming, presented by Linda Toya. Yes. Hardik Mangrolia. The North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Award for Excellence in Mathematics, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Michael Marcinek is unable to attend. He's receiving a North Penn Education Association scholarship. Also, Angela Martell is unable to attend. She's receiving the Roseanne Ross Class of 1965 Memorial Art Award for a student continuing education in art. Sabrina Matthews. From Silk and Fresh Florist, the English Skills Award, presented by Bill Hubler. Christopher Melot. Chris is receiving 3 awards. The first, from Clemens Markets Incorporated for Outstanding in Business Management, presented by Linda Westerland. Second award from the North Penn Booster Club, Outstanding Senior Athlete in Academic English, presented by Bill Hubler. And Chris's last award, the Store Outfitters Irv Lapotin Memorial Award, Outstanding Student in his sport who exemplifies leadership both on and off the field, presented by Ron Lapotin.
This is the first year for this award, and for those of you that don't know the name Irv Lapotin, you would probably recognize him if he were here today. He founded the store at Allentown and 40-Foot Road in 1952 and was there most days until he passed away in September. Among his many accomplishments, which included serving at the Battle of the Bulge, running a successful business for 48 years, raising a loving family, and almost shooting his age at the golf course at the age of 76, what brought the most pleasure to him was watching his grandchildren's academic and athletic accomplishments right here at North Penn High School. Among them, Stu and Eric earned 12 varsity leathers, and their grandfather was in the stands at every game, rain or shine, home or away. It was his greatest pleasure, and he was their biggest supporter. Our family felt what better tribute to him than to establish an annual award at North Penn High School in his memory, honoring an outstanding athlete who exhibits leadership both on and off the field. We hope that each year, as this award is handed out, it will serve to honor not only the recipients, but their biggest supporters, their parents and grandparents. It's with pleasure that I give this award to Chris Maylott.
Laurie Mazurek. Laurie is receiving 2 awards. The first, General Federation of Women's Clubs North Penn Miriam Dennis Bose Award, Outstanding in Human Services and Consumer Science, presented by Grace Leister. And the second award, the North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Colin Likens. Tim McAteer. The Volunteer Medical Service Corps Frank E. Boston, MD Memorial Award, Outstanding in Loyalty, Mercy, and Humanity, presented by Mrs. Newman. James McCarter. James is receiving 3 awards. The first, Green Room Club Service to Theater Award, presented by Val Sinacor. Second, the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig. And James' last award, Vistion Automotive Systems, Interest and Progress in the Field of Science, presented by Dan Drissel. Mrs. Finnemeyer. Allison McCarthy. Allison is receiving 2 awards. The first, Dutch Country Players, for a student going on to further the talents in theater arts, presented by Cindy Loudon. And Allison's second award, the William O'Brien Jostens Best Actress Award, also presented by Cindy Loudon. Elizabeth McConnell. Elizabeth is receiving the Howard R. Lassen Memorial Award to a student who will be majoring in secondary English education, presented by Jennifer Lassen, Howard Lassen's daughter. Melissa McConnell. The American Association of University Women Lansdale Branch for Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Carolyn Murphy. Lisa McGuire. North Penn Art Most Improved in Theater, presented by Cindy Loudon. Chris McKelvey. Chris is receiving 2 awards. First, North Penn High School Athletic Department, an Outstanding Athlete, presented by Don Ryan. And also, the North Penn High School Athletic Department Outstanding Recognition to School in 3 years of athletic competition, presented also by Don Ryan. Michael Mishner. The North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hilt Memorial Award, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. James Miracle. James is receiving the Edward Pickens Memorial Award, presented in memory of former school board member Edward Pickens by his children, Cassandra, Ed, and Veronica Pickens. Nancy Mersch. New Dance Workshop, Most Dedicated Senior Dancer, presented by Deb Buckner. Amanda Mitchell. Women of the Elks, North Penn Lodge, 1979, Outstanding Career Study Student, presenter Carol Schellenberger. Lauren Mitchell. Lansdale High School, class of 1935, Outstanding in a Specialized Program, presented by Linda Toya. Bill Travers will continue.
Leslie Mogenberg. Leslie is being presented with the North Penn Athletic Department Award, Good Sports Person Today, Better Citizen Tomorrow, presented by Mr. Don Ryan. Michael Moore. Mike is receiving the North Penn Valley Boys and Girls Club Robert S. Capps Sr. Memorial Scholarship Award, given to a college-bound North Penn Valley Boys and Girls Club member in good standing who has shown a concern for others, presented by Mr. Don Ryan. John? You present it, or is it John? Okay. And Mr. John DeSimon. Come on out, John. Chris Moriarty. Chris will be receiving 3 awards. The first is the John Fazzini Memorial Award for exceptional progress in specialized programming, presented by Linda Toya. Second award, Hatfield Lions Club Special Achievement Award, presented by Dr. Vincent Cotter. And Chris's final award is the Lizelle's Office Environments Special Achievement in Behavioral Sciences, presented by Mr. Jeff Jordan. Lindsay Murphy will receive the North Penn High School Human Services and Consumer Science Department Gene K. Buck Award for outstanding performance in human services and consumer science, presented by Grace Leister. Rebecca Naudasher will receive the North Penn High School Athletic Department Award given to an outstanding athlete, presented by Mr. Don Ryan. And I see that Becky is not here. But Don Ryan is. Cliff Nguyen. Cliff will be receiving 4 awards. The first, the North Penn Booster Club James B. Crawford Award, given to the letter winner with the highest scholastic average, presented by Mr. Don Ryan. His second award, North Penn Booster Club Outstanding Senior Athlete in French, presented by Mrs. Sandy Stover. His third award, North Penn Booster Club Outstanding Senior Athlete in Mathematics, presenter Mrs. Lisa Gerhardt. And Cliff's final award, North Penn High School Athletic Department Award to an Outstanding Athlete, presented by Mr. Don Ryan. Chad Norman. Chad receives the Tom Sweeney Memorial Award given for enthusiasm in business, presented by Mr. Ken McLarnon. Leah O'Neill. Leah will receive the KinderCare Award given for outstanding work in the work-study program, presented by Mr. Ken McLarnon. Deepa Patel. Deepa will receive 4 awards. The first, the American Association of University Women Lansdale Branch, Outstanding Academic Achievement and Service to Others, presented by Mrs. Carolyn Murphy. Next, the Kiwanis Club of Lansdale Award for Outstanding in Community Affairs, presented by Mr. Paul Kasoff. Third, the Lions Club of North Wales, Outstanding Achievement in Art, presented by Mrs. Colleen Kiefer. And Deepa's final award, Student Government Association for Outstanding SGA Contributor, presented by Mr. Jim Finnemeyer and Mr. Jason Giersch. Kajal Patel. Kajal receives the North Penn High School Perfect Attendance Award for 3 years of perfect attendance at North Penn High School, presented by Mrs. Sandy Newman. Brian Patterson. Brian will receive 2 awards. The first, the North Penn High School Theater Department Director's Award, presented by Ms. Cindy Loudon.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a few words. This young man for theater has pretty much done it all and tried it all. This young man has worked the stage crew. He's turns my machines on and off for the sodas. He secures this place. He stays here day and night. He'll do anything I ask of him. He has acted on the stage, and he's a young playwright. And this humble young man probably never in his life thought that he would receive this award. And I've never, ever heard Brian say one bad word about anybody. And he's going to bloom in college. Congratulations.
Brian's second award, North Penn High School Theater Department Michael Salemno Memorial Theater Participation Award, presented by Mr. Art Addison. Who will help you move that stuff on. That's it, Brian. Thomas Pepe. Tom will receive the ENAC Club Curtis Cooper Memorial Award, given to a student contributing to the solution of environmental problems, presented by Miss Irene Guthrie and Mr. Michael Ascona. Jennifer Pettin. Jennifer will receive the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hilt Memorial Award, presented by Mrs. Lisa Gerhardt. Cassandra Pickens. Cassie will be receiving 6 awards. The Democratic Party of the North Penn Area Special Achievement Award in Government, presented by Mr. Dave Fritz. The Janice A. Funk Math Enthusiast Award, graduating gifted student whose inquisitive, scholarly, and consistently excellent performance in mathematics reflects sincere interest in and love for the discipline, presented by Lisa Gerhardt. Next, the Hamburg, Rubin, Mullen, Maxwell, and Lupin Award, given to a student entering pre-law studies, presented by Dr. Cotter. The North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Mrs. Betty Jean Stratton. The North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Mrs. Ruth Cook. And lastly, the North Penn High School German Club, Outstanding Contribution to the German Club, presented by Mrs. Carolyn Murphy. Tara Plotz. Tara will receive the Domino's Pizza North Penn Food Service Scholarship to the student who exemplifies the balance of outstanding overall grades, after-school employment, and excellence in food service, food management courses, and that was presented by Mrs. Grace Leister. Jeremy Plymet. Jerry will receive 5 awards. The first is the Barnes & Noble Booksellers English Proficiency Award, presented by Maddie Jolstrom. Next, the North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Mrs. Barry Finnemeyer. The North Penn Education Association Scholarship Award, presented by Mr. Colin Likens. North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hilt Memorial Award, presented by Mrs. Lisa Gerhardt. And lastly, the North Penn High School Science Faculty Commendable Achievement in Science, presented by Mrs. Barry Finnemeyer. Chelsea Powers. Chelsea receives the Valley Forge chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution for outstanding work, cooperation, citizenship, dependability, leadership, and personality. Presented by Mrs. Sandy Newman. Rachel Price. Rachel will receive the Brittany Point Estates Award given to the student who has been involved with the elderly. I'm sorry, I said Michelle, my mistake. Presented by Grace Leister. Jennifer Prushnick. Jen will receive the Career Development Partnership Program for outstanding work in the Career Exploration Program, presented by Karen Holmes. Bethany Quinty. Bethany will receive the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hilt Memorial Award. Mark Randazzo. Mark receives the John Huber Memorial Scholarship presented to the student continuing studies in vocational technical fields, presented by Dr. Vincent Cotter. The next student was unable to attend, Michelle Rappaport. She will receive the North Penn Animal Hospital Award given to a student going into the animal care field. Michelle Register. Michelle will be receiving 3 awards. First, North Penn Chapter of National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presented by Mrs. Barry Finnemeyer. Next, North Penn High School Chorus Award for Greatest Contribution to Chorus, presented by Mr. Dan Krzyzewski. And lastly, the Theater and Kids Award for Excellence in Theater, presented by Mr. Art Addison. John Mark Reichley. Mark will be receiving the Carl Hoppe Memorial Award presented to a student entering the field of kinesiology, presented by Dr. Vincent Cotter. Let's have a round of applause for all the students from Home Office F40. All right, would the students from Home Office A32 come to the stage at this time? Last names beginning with RI through Z. Okay, Mr. Spence Miller.
The first recipient from Home Office A32 is Andrew Riccardi. Andrew is receiving the John Fazzini Memorial Award, Exceptional Progress in Specialized Programming, presenter Linda Toya. Next, Jason Richwine. Jason's receiving several awards this evening. First, American Legion, William E. Hare Post 206, highest academic average over 3 years. Presenter, William Weaver. Next, the Merck Institute for Science Education, outstanding 3 years in mathematics. Presenter, Lisa Gerhardt. Next, the North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Kenneth Arnhold Memorial Award, Student Outstanding in Social Sciences, presenter Jeff Jordan. Jason is also receiving the North Penn chapter of National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presenter Betty Jean Stratton. Jason is also receiving the North Penn High School Perfect Attendance Award for 3 years of perfect attendance at North Penn High School. Presenter, Mr. Pizzolo. And lastly, Toluga Association of Greater Delaware Valley, Incorporated, Outstanding Academic Achievement. Presenter, Dr. Cotter. Lindsay Rogers. Lindsay's receiving 2 awards this evening, the first of which, Lansdale JC's Howard Lassen Memorial Public Speaking Award, presenter Bill Hubler. And second, the North Penn chapter of National Honor Society, Outstanding Contribution to School and Community, presenter Barry Finnemeyer. Teresa Romano. Looks as though she's coming. Teresa is receiving the Vernon Jean Ziegler Memorial Award, Athlete Outstanding in Citizenship, presenter Don Ryan. Andrew Rosenthal. Andrew is receiving 2 awards this evening. The first, Democratic Party of North Penn Area, Special Achievement in Government, presenter Dave Fritz. And also, the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presenter Nancy Craig. Janelle Saracini. Janelle's receiving the Alta Contractors Award, Outstanding in Work Study Program, presenter Ken McLarnon. Carly Shaw. Carly is receiving the North Penn Association for Gifted Education, Foreign Language and Research Award, presenter Betty Jean Stratton. Natalie Smith. Natalie's receiving North Penn Music Aids, Incorporated. Schmidt, sorry. Yes. My mistake. North Penn Music Aids, Incorporated, Robin J. Mattis Memorial Award, Outstanding Contribution to North Penn High School Marching Knights Band Front. Presenters, Frank Kusark, Carol Quinn, and Mr. Heller. Sure, absolutely.
The Robin J. Mattis Award came about due to the fact in 1976 she was killed in a car accident due to a drunk driver. Instead of flowers, my grandparents put the money into this so that people who show their enthusiasm with the band front, they get something for their efforts.
Megan Schneider. Megan is receiving the Lansdale Auxiliary VFW Post 32 Student Who Exemplifies Americanism. Presenter Jason Giersch. Sarah Schoendorfer. Sarah is receiving the Tom Sweeney Memorial Award, Enthusiastic in Business. Presenter, Linda Westerland. Leanne Schwartz. Leanne is receiving 2 awards this evening. First, North Penn Booster Club, Outstanding Senior Athlete in Latin. Presenter, Sandy Stover. And second, North Penn High School Athletic Department, Good Sportsperson Today, Better Citizen Tomorrow Award. Presenter, Don Ryan. Amy Scott. Amy is receiving the Lansdale Jaycees Dr. Charles Wassell Memorial Award, an outstanding senior. Presenter, Dr. Cotter. Holly Sensinger. Holly's receiving the Phoenix Accessories North Penn Food Services Department Outstanding in Career Exploration Program. Presenter, Ken McLarnon. William Schaefer. William is receiving an award from the North Penn High School Instrumental Music Department, John Philip Sousa Award, Greatest Contribution to Music. Mr. Sousa could not be here, but we do have Mr. Heller.
Who's writing these jokes?
Shivangi Shah. Two awards this evening. First, the Indo-American Club Special Achievement Award to a college-bound student. Presenter, Mr. Pizzolo. And second, the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award. Presenter, Ruth Cook. Russell Shelley. Russ is receiving the Knight Crier Award, Outstanding Service to School Newspaper. Presenter, Ann Weinblatt. Robert Shields. Fraternal Order of Eagles, number 1761, Outstanding in Courtesy. Presenter, Dr. Cotter. Lindsay Simpson. Student Government Association, Michael A. DeRosa Jr., Interclub Council, Pride and Spirit Award. Presenter, Jim Finnemeyer.
This award was created in 1982 when the Interclub Council was begun by the then Vice President of Student Government, Michael Davidson DeRosa. Mike has since gone on to great success in the state of Florida and has, since his college experiences, become the benefactor of this award that he created as a high school student here. We congratulate Lindsay Simpson, who has been the Vice President of SGA this year and the head of the Interclub Council.
Casey Slaughter. Casey's receiving an award from the Lansdale Kiwanis Club, Outstanding in Community Affairs. Presenter, Paul Kassoff. Cheryl Smith. Cheryl's unable to be here this evening, but we're receiving an award from North Penn High School Athletic Department, Outstanding Athlete. Natalie Smith. The Phi Beta Kappa Book Award to an outstanding senior. Presenter, Mr. Pizzolo. Lee Sabatkin. Lee is receiving several awards this evening. The first, Lansdale High School, Class of 1944, Blackledge Rudiger Scholarship. Presenter, Mr. George King. The David Lerman Memorial Scholarship, strong interest in math and science, scholastic excellence, and enthusiasm for continuous learning. Presenter, Dr. Cotter. He is also receiving the North Penn chapter of National Honor Society, outstanding contribution to school and community. Presenter, Barry Finnemeyer. The North Penn Education Association Recognition Award. Presenter, Colin Likens. Also, the North Penn High School Mathematics Faculty Donabella Hill Memorial Award. Presenter, Lisa Gerhardt. And last, the North Penn High School Class of 1990 Outstanding Dedication and Commitment to the Class of 2000. Presenters, Ms. Jody Williams and Mr. George Woodbury. Amanda Spalding. North Penn Booster Club, Kenneth R. Schmidt Award, a student athlete who by precept and example has been a source of inspiration to other athletes during the senior year at North Penn High School. Presenter Don Ryan. Sarah Spielvogel. North Penn High School, Theater Department, Excellence in Theater Award. Presenter, Deborah Buckner. Sean Stape. Sean's receiving the North Penn Education Association Scholarship. Presenter, Nancy Craig. Michael Stefano. North Penn Music Aids Incorporated, Carl A. Thompson Scholarship, student entering music education who's made the greatest contribution to music. Presenter, Frank Cusick and Ted Heller. Jacqueline Stein. Jack is receiving the Tracy Edelman Memorial Award, Outstanding Member to the North Penn High School Cheerleading Squad. Presenter, Sarah Spielvogel.
The scholarship award I'm about to present tonight is in memory of my sister, Tracy Edelman. Tracy died of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma 3.5 years ago. She was a cheerleader at the high school for 3 years, making the varsity squad in her junior year and co-captain in her senior year. She then graduated in 1993. As a cheerleader, Tracy exemplified leadership, character, school spirit, and is responsible for many of the cheers that are still performed today. In addition to cheerleading, Tracy was also an excellent dancer, singer, and most importantly, was the kind of person that was always there for you when you needed her. She was a great person, loving daughter, and an amazing sister. Tonight, our family would like to give this very special scholarship award to a senior cheerleader who possesses all of the wonderful qualities as Tracy did. So, the recipient of the Tracy Edelman Memorial Scholarship was carefully selected, and we feel all those qualities are clearly represented in this year's recipient, Jackie Stein.
Jackie? Sorry. Your second award is from the North Penn Booster Club, Outstanding Senior Athlete in Math. Presenter Lisa Gerhardt. Jennifer Stein. Jen is receiving the Theater and Kids Award, Excellence in Theater. Presenter Arthur Addison. Blair Sterling. Silk and Fresh Flowers, Excellence in Theater Award. Presenter Cynthia Loudon. Christine Williams will continue.
Dominic Zabo. Dominic cannot be here tonight, but he was receiving the Gennardi Market Sports Award for the most outstanding senior athlete. Karen Zadecki. Karen could not be here tonight either. She was receiving 2 awards. The first was the North Penn Association for Gifted Education Leadership Award, And the second was the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award. Christine Tampanello. Yay. Christine is receiving the North Penn High School Career Exploration Program Award for outstanding in the Career Exploration Program, presented by Mr. Ken McLarnon. William Taylor. Bill is receiving the Parent Council Award for overall outstanding senior participating in specialized programs, presented by Linda Toya and Val Sinacor.
Before you leave, Bill, it has been my privilege and honor to have worked as both a teacher and advisor with Bill for the last 2 years, and I couldn't resist this moment in the limelight with him to let all of you know what a pleasure he is to work with. I would take a classroom of 30 to 35 Bills because he works so hard and just loves to learn. So Bill, congratulations, and I will miss you.
Jonathan Tucker. John is receiving the Marin Studios Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Yearbook, presented by Kathleen Staley. Jonathan Toy. John is receiving the Hatfield Lions Club for Special Achievement Award, presented by Mr. Pizzolo. Claudine Wagenfield. Claudine is receiving the North Penn Association for Gifted Education Award for career insight gained through the Gifted Mentorship Program, presented by Betty Jean Stratton. Matthew Wample. Matt is receiving the North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Colin Likens. Melissa Warburton. Melissa is receiving 2 awards this evening. The first is the Penny Gardner Memorial Scholarship for Student Outstanding in Performing Arts, presented by Deborah Buckner. Her second award is the North Penn High School Chorus Award for Outstanding Ability in Vocal Music, presented by Dan Krachetsky. Craig Wireman. Craig is also receiving several awards this evening. His first is the North Penn Education Association Recognition Award, presented by Nancy Craig. And his second award is the radio station WNPTV Award for Outstanding in the Field of Broadcasting and Communications, presented by Dr. Cotter. Samantha Weitz. Samantha is receiving the Wendy Gillette Memorial Award for Outstanding Senior whose positive attitude enables her to continuously overcome obstacles, presented by Linda Toya. Ryan Williams. Ryan is receiving several awards this evening. The first is the Culpsville Lions Club Award, which is the Theater Lion Award for Service to School, North Penn High School Theater and Community, presented by Cindy Loudon. Secondly, he is receiving the Bishop Smith Thompson Scholarship, Lansdale High School Class of 1931, presented by Mr. Pizzolo. Next, Ryan will receive a North Penn Education Association Scholarship, presented by Mr. Colin Likens. And lastly, Ryan is receiving the Theta Systems Incorporated Award for Outstanding Thespian, presented by Art Addison. Martin Whitmer. Martin is receiving the Kiwanis Club of Lansdale Award for Outstanding in Community Affairs, presented by Paul Kasoff. Justin Widoslawski. Justin is receiving the Michael R. Nassif Award for Outstanding Senior who has excelled in a specialized program and is continuing studies at an institution of higher learning, presented by Linda Toya. Brian Waltman. Brian is receiving the Knights of Columbus Pius Ninth Council 4396 for Outstanding in Civic and Church Affairs, presented by Jim Finnemeyer. Mark Yoder. Mark is receiving the North Penn International Friendship Committee A. Walter Lukens Memorial Award for Outstanding Goodwill Ambassador as a North Penn High School exchange student, presented by Mr. Tom Lemon and Carolyn Murphy. Katie Young. Katie is receiving the North Penn Education Association Thomas Leonard Scholarship, presented by Mr. Colin Likens.
And on behalf of the North Penn Education Association, I'd just like to once again say for all of us as the teachers of the school system, how much we appreciate what you, the parents, family, and friends of these remarkable students have done to make them terrific people to work with and to work for. Thank you.
Alicia Zagoritsky. Alicia is receiving 2 awards this evening. The first is the Marybrook Garden Club Award for Excellence in Ecology, presented by Barry Finnemeyer. And secondly, she's receiving the Phoenix Accessories Award for Outstanding in the Career Exploration Program, presented by Mr. Glenn McCarnan. Kristen Zazula. Kristen is receiving the Student Service Company North Penn High School Administration Award for Outstanding Service to North Penn High School, presented by Dr. Cotter. Samantha Willing. Sam is receiving the Isabella S. Jones Memorial Award for student continuing studies in the field of education, presented by Mr. Pizzolo. Students, please remain on stage as we applaud you and Dr. Cotter makes his closing remarks.
Quite an amazing night, quite an amazing group, and certainly I'd like to acknowledge a few people that made this program possible. First of all, Curry Doyle and the Award Selection Committee, Community Services staff, Bob Gilmore and Mary Fakish from Channel 16. If you could give them a round of applause, please. Tonight we recognized and celebrated the achievement of the class of 2000 as we take one step closer toward commencement. Truly, this is one amazing group. I think you would agree. Science, math, everything you could think of tonight, we had achievers here, and certainly we recognized their accomplishments. I'm confident that these students will find their way to eventually become the leaders of tomorrow. Actually, with this group, their future is truly bright. They're involved, they're committed, they're dedicated, they have the right stuff. They are the best and brightest that North Penn has to offer. Again, congratulations, and let's give them another round of applause. And finally, as a community and parents, I want to thank you for sending your students to North Penn High School. We truly love them, and we appreciate them, and we love having them here. Thank you, and have a great evening.